on Conversations with Michael Eisner, Bette Midler on Being a Diva.
I was probably difficult because I was very ambitious and I didn't have any other interests, which is not good, not really
You
healthy.
weren't difficult at Disney at all.
By that time I had been so beaten up that I was like, I was a desperate housewife. I was playing a part for real.
Then, TV's Iron Man, Regis Philbin, takes over and turns the tables.
But now, why do you want to be a talk show?
I don't know.
But you're enjoying.
As I'm sitting here telling you, I'm thinking maybe this is like idiotic.
Plus, Academy Award winner Goldie Hawn and the story behind one of her biggest movies, Private Benjamin.
So this was really probably the biggest film you made, right? I mean, certainly it was a big turning point.
It was a turning point. I've made big films and I've made money, but that was a huge turning point.
And I had the stupidity of not making the movie.
All that ahead on Conversations. Now, here are Michael Eisner and Goldie Hawn.
So Goldie, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. I'm loving being here.
I appreciate it. And I want to start right off, and the most difficult part is me and Private Benjamin.
Right.
So this was really probably the biggest film you've made, right? I mean, certainly it was a big turning point.
It was a turning point. I've made big films and I've made money, but that was a huge turning point.
And I had the stupidity of not making the movie.
Well, if that's the only stupid thing you've ever done, you're like already winning.
I read the script. We met.
Yeah.
I told you it didn't have a third act.
Right.
You looked at me and said, what? And I tried to convince you that there was no third act.
Right.
And you looked at me and said, who is this idiot?
Right. Not totally. Right.
And then you went and made it for another studio.
Right.
And I went to the movie theater, convinced that I was right, that there was not going to be a third act.
Yeah.
And when Albert Brooks drops dead in the first scene, I turned to my wife and I said, I'm getting the feeling I made this giant mistake. And every scene in the movie got better. And then it was like the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. That was a problem even at Warner Brothers. Because, you know, there were a lot of people that kind of liked the movie, that they wanted to change things, and that there was TriStar and this thing. And they would say, gee, you don't look Jewish. Maybe you should be from Dallas, you know, let's make her. So everybody had something, right? And Warner Brothers came in, and that was Shapiro at the time. And he said, I love this movie. If we don't get to make this movie when
No,
the first
I love
version.
the movie too.
But wait.
But I didn't like the third act.
No, but
and
hold
you fixed it.
No, but hold on, because your instincts were right.
Right,
I was
that helps.
dealing with, okay, I'm giving them this story.
That helps.
I was dealing with the end of this movie, which was the third act, and they said, you know, we have a problem here because you can't take this movie and shift it to Paris in the third act. I mean, you just can't do that. And I went in and I fought this battle.
You were right.
So you were, yeah, I said, because when you are with a character and you love this character and you're an audience and you're just, you know, it's great. She can take, or he can take you to the moon.
Obviously, you're right.
So it didn't
but
matter.
I didn't make the mistake in foul play, even though I got close, right?
You did come close, yeah.
This was embarrassing. I'm sure we've discussed this before, but I didn't really remember that you'd had a baby. Mm-hmm. And
But what did you remember?
I just remembered seeing you in some picture,
And I
a
looked.
still picture. You look great. Wait a second.
Wait a
Wait a second.
minute.
So I called up your agent, who says, Goldie Hawn, Chevy Chase, fantastic. And I said, isn't Goldie a little heavy? And had this very interesting conversation with Stan Kamen, your agent, and it was very confidential between the two of us.
Right.
And we decided to have a meeting. And the meeting was only for me to see you, because he told me you looked great. I was really embarrassed. And you came in and turned to me and said, so you think I'm fat? And that's when I learned that agents aren't to be trusted.
Exactly. And some people who are actors are actually honest.
Well, that movie, which was a fantastic movie, was really the beginning of a career change for me. And it made the first summer that I was at Paramount a smash, because between that and Grease, we had a pretty good summer.
That's right. And it actually was a turning point for me, because before I did your film, Foul Play, I had decided to have a baby and become a mother. And it wasn't so much anxious about, will I ever work again, or is this going to work? And suddenly, I guess after Oliver was almost 2, and I hadn't worked for 3 years, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm done. Maybe it's over. You know, I did Laugh In, I did Cactus Flower, I have an Academy Award. You know, maybe this is God's way of saying, hey, you lucky thing, but figure out something else to do. And I started getting concerned. And that's when I got called about Foul Play, and I thought, Well, that they wanted somebody else. And I said, no. He says, well, he thinks you're a little heavy. I think you should just go in and meet him. So I put on a straight skirt.
Well, at least he said heavy and not something worse.
Well, he didn't. He said fat. But at any rate, so I then put on the straight skirt. But the point is that movie shifted my career. So each time you do a shift in your life, right, or you do a change in your life, then sometimes it feels like it's not going to happen and your career is not going to do well. And the next thing you know is that these choices that you make actually catapult you to the next level.
Let's go back then a little bit, because there's something interesting, and I've read your book. You have a terrific memoir book that came out last year. And when you did Laugh-In, you stumbled into a character that was like the ditzy blonde, because you're not that character in real life. You are very smart and all that. And for a lot of your career, you have taken that character and made that character into a machine of great success. Have you ever regretted that you went that route, or have you ever thought, how do I get out of that route? Or, and you have done films that are not in that route.
No, in fact, we did one together, you know, because it was nice to be able to stretch and to do something. I went through a period where, you know, we come as instruments, okay? We're just human beings with energy and instruments, and that's what I had, okay? So my instrument was something that literally played a happy tune, you know? And part of me, when I got to be around 30, and, you know, I thought, well, gee, people need to take me seriously, and, you know, I'm sexy, and maybe I should do like a sexy movie and, you know, take pictures. And I went through a period of insecurity about, am I just going to be like this blonde who's not taken seriously? And I actually bought into it myself, and that's the key, right? And then I realized, it came to me, what in the world are you fighting?
And now you were just a giant star. At this moment, you were...
I became a star after I did Laugh-In.
And then when you did Cactus Flower, you became a star with unbelievable credibility because you won the Academy Award.
Right.
So now there was nothing you couldn't do.
Well, I felt that when I won the Academy Award, I was so young, and I never thought that I would ever get another one, because I felt that it was a bit of a jinx. I thought that I went out, I did a lovely comedy, I was all that one could be or do in that lovely role. But the fact that I was honored with it, which I take to heart and I treasure it, but I really, even at 25, when I won this award, I said, you know what, Goldie? It's going to be a long time before you get another one.
So how did you, during all this period of deciding what to do and being a working actress, become such a great mother? Because I know you are. I know you are from firsthand, not from reading some People magazine.
No, we've been together.
I know you are. And so how did, a lot of people aren't able to commit that kind of time. How did you get that done?
You said it, commitment. Commit is the word. And I start with the intention of being a good mother. And I really can take a look at what I really valued in my life. And the one thing that I knew I could fail at was parenting. I couldn't fail at the business because some of that's going to fail anyway. You can't control certain things. You go out, you make a movie, you do the best you can, you believe in it, an editor can take and screw it up. So it's out of your hands. So you have to surrender to the fact that in the movie industry, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some.
And that can't happen with children?
It can't happen with children.
Well, they get out of your control, they get into bad friends, they get into
if you're
whatever.
Not paying attention and you don't make that promise to yourself that you're going to be there no matter what for these children, and that's your intention, I dare say you're not going to fail.
And so how did you arrange to be there when a film career forces you to be elsewhere?
I didn't
take them with you?
I didn't go away very much. I took them with me when I went away. I didn't leave them any more than 2 weeks at a time, and that was rare. I tutored them myself while I was on the set. I made sure that they were doing their studies.
But now you have a daughter, and to be a woman in Hollywood, and you are still doing great parts, but your daughter is like the hot Goldie Hawn from a few years ago.
She's the hot Kate Hudson, yeah.
She has done some films that at a very young age were very much honored, very like you were.
Absolutely. It
And
was
she
very
does
weird.
look frightening like you.
There's
I mean,
there's
you
an
are-
energy there. There's
Oh, no,
definitely
the eyes, trust me.
there's a joy. You know,
see
I think
her
she's a
feeling.
lot like my mom.
Well, that may be true.
She does. It's almost scary when Mom was at that age, you know. But she's got the good smile, she's got the great heart, and she's got amazing talent.
It's great that you married the biggest Disney star ever.
How about that? Wait a minute. You want to talk about what's really crazy about all this?
What?
Get ready. I don't know if you know this story. So I'm now dancing I come to LA, I'm dancing. I got a job on Good Morning World, but I was still considered myself a dancer. So I went out for an audition for a Disney movie called The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band.
You're kidding.
No. And I go out for this audition, and now I'm lost, and I'm on Dopey Drive, right? And I've got my dance bag, and I'm walking around Dopey Drive, and I'm going, where is this audition? I don't know. So I stopped this lady, and I said, excuse me, I'm lost. I'm going to the audition. I'm a dancer for The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band. Do you know where that is? And she said, yes, dear. She said, it's right over there. So I go over there. I get the audition. I make it. I get a part. The part's the part of the giggly girl. And I notice on the set, in the movie, is a guy who's really short and really adorable, and he's playing the drums. He's one of the kids in the family band. It happens to be Kurt Russell. And I looked at him.
Well, of course, you must have known at this point that he was Walt Disney's favorite actor.
Of course not.
You didn't even know that?
Of course
And he'd
not.
done,
Didn't know.
what, 10 movies for Disney?
Yes, but I didn't know he was just this guy in a drum.
Did you talk to Kurt Russell on the
Oh,
set?
no, I just looked at him. I thought he was awful cute, but he was too young. So anyway, so years later, 2 husbands later, children later, everything, I'm now looking at guys for Swing Shift, which is the movie that I produced over at
movie.
Warner Brothers.
Excellent movie.
And I'm sitting there, and Kevin Costner left the room because we read together as well, and in comes Kurt Russell. And he looked at me and he said, I got something to tell you. You made your first movie with me at Disney. And you know what? You went up to my mother and you asked her how to get to the rehearsal hall.
That was his mother?
That was his mother. And she went home and she said, I met a girl that's going to get the part. I can tell.
Really?
Yeah. So, of course, she's like my mother-in-law. And, you know, even though we're not married, but 23 years, I guess I can call her family.
That counts. So,
is that a great story?
it is a great story.
Yeah.
So,
Did it take too long to tell?
Not at all. Not at all. We were on a plane once together, and we were talking about faith and stuff like that. And then you gave me, if you can believe this,
Oh, no.
you gave me a crystal,
Oh, my God.
which, this is like 25 years ago.
I know.
Which I put it in a jacket that my wife thinks is a very ugly jacket that I was wearing that night, that I bought in Iceland, and made out of reindeer. So it's also politically inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
But I wear it like once a year, and once a year, I put my hand in the pocket, and there is this, I've lost everything else I own. But I can't lose this crystal you gave me.
Oh.
So now, but I'm not quite sure what it means and why I have it.
No, but I'll tell you what, I have to touch this. This is actually a really nice piece. This is
You're not getting it back.
I know. This is tourmaline.
What?
Tourmaline. This is a green tourmaline, I think. Yeah. And people use this because it absorbs negative energy. Now, if you believe it, okay, you need to believe, because if you don't believe it, then the energy isn't going to take you to a place where it's going to matter anyway. But according to this is a living energetic system right here. This has a vibration just like every piece of your body.
It takes care of negativity?
It absorbs negativity.
I should have worn it at a few of my
And
meetings.
it's good for healing, and I gave it to you for a reason. And I'm glad you never got rid of it.
I never did.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is fantastic. Well, you make all of us very happy.
Thanks,
and we
honey.
love your movies. We love your work.
Thank you.
We love your children.
I love you.
Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Next on Conversations, Regis Philbin settles some unfinished business.
Why did ABC put on 4 episodes of The Millionaire and then expect it to survive in prime time?
I'd like to say, I don't know, but I was the person who made that mistake.
That's next when Conversations with Michael Eisner returns.
Conversations with Michael Eisner is brought to you by the Royal Bank of Scotland Group. Make it happen.
He crashed that drive, and Jack picks up still another birdie. Birdie country again.
If he put together his best shots from every hole of the Masters, Jack Nicklaus would turn in a card of 48.
That's about as close to flawless golf as you'll ever see.
You feeling better?
I'm getting there. And I do feel good that we have Affleck.
Glad I asked about it at work.
I'm glad it's helping pay the bills.
Electric bill, house payments, even Michelle's education. Helps with just about any bills our health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Stock and option exchanges are competing for your next order. Is your broker taking maximum advantage? Interactive Broker's smart order routing system reacts instantly to changing prices within a complex web of exchange rules. Smart routing plus ultra-low commissions will make a dramatic impact on your trading results. The Interactive Broker's smart router. After 6 years of evolution, intelligent design that even Darwin could appreciate. Interactive Brokers. Options, stocks, futures, ETFs, Forex, bonds, worldwide.
From financing the sunglasses manufacturing plant, to purchasing its corporate headquarters, to leasing the sunglasses national chain of retail stores, CB Richard Ellis, your business partner for all your real estate needs.
Exclusive discounts at spas. Just one of the many benefits of Visa Signature, the rewards card that rewards you for living.
I'm Kathy Griffin, and I want off the celebrity D-list. I've learned a lot from the A-listers I've stalked. Here's the plan. You'll vote. Whatever wins, I'll do. So log on and vote now, America. You too, Canada. Help a brother out. To vote, go to offthedlist.com.
And don't miss My Life on the D-List, next Tuesday at 9, 8 Central, only on Bravo.
Tired of spending money on advertising that misses the target? Charter Media makes it easy. Leeds mattress owner Neil Leeds tells us why he advertises with Charter.
Charter Media makes it really affordable to advertise because there's no waste. You get to pinpoint the community you want to serve, and you could directly reach those clients. Make a call Charter, and let them come, tell them about your business, and let them do the work for you.
For advertising that will capture your target audience, call Charter Media, 626-430-3566.
My windows let drafts in, can't operate, too noisy, just plain ugly. Advanced Windows and Doors can change your outlook. Insulate your home with new windows, reduce outside noise, and have windows that actually work. Transform your home from sedate to gorgeous. Act now, get 8 retrofit Milgard windows for $3,500 installed. Advanced Windows and Doors will provide you with free estimates, excellent financing, and most jobs complete in just one day. Call Advanced Windows and Doors today, 888-443-6133.
Conversations with Michael Eisner continues now with TV talk show host Regis Philbin.
So Regis, the reason I wanted you to come on my show is I need to learn how to do what you do. So you're here to explain to me how you do this, how you prepare, how you did it, how you went from San Diego to running the world, how you became the best friend of everybody. I mean, give me the whole thing.
Oh, that's a lot. You know, Michael, I never knew when I was a page right here in this studio and downstairs on the 6th floor, I never knew what I wanted to do. I never thought I had any talent. And it wasn't until I saw Jack Parr one night when I was working in radio in San Diego, California, that I said, you know, I have a chance to do what he did. He would come out and sit on the edge of the desk and just talk into the camera and tell them where he had been, what he had done that night.
Were you a page on his show?
No, I wasn't. I was a page. My first job for NBC was a page on The Tonight Show. Steve Allen was hosting the show. That really goes back.
I gave those dinner reservations for Johnny Carson to the guests that won the little song.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Right
yeah.
Here. Right here.
Well, I was a little bit before you, though. Steve Allen did it from the theater on 44th Street. And I was in the second balcony, and I was watching them kind of rehearse. And my God, you know, that stable of talent Steve Allen had, Bill Dana, Louis Nye, Tom Poston.
Did you want to replace
Steve Vaniti? No, but I said to myself, what talent do I have? These are the most talented people I had ever seen.
That's what you said to me before we started. What talent do you have?
Exactly.
Why are you doing this?
I didn't say that. I know what that's like to have to answer that question. Anyway, that's how I started. And when I saw Jack Parr later on, I figured, you know, there I had a shot because I thought I could do what Jack did.
And then you were the sidekick to Joey Bishop.
And then I had a decision to make. Joey called me, and I was doing my own show in Hollywood.
And you had to be the straight man to the comedian?
I was like his Gelman.
But did you somebody told me once that you walked off in a huff. didn't come back for a couple
As a matter
days.
of fact, I did.
But that's not your personality.
No, but I was very angry because the show was off to a slow start. And ABC executives, and I think you were one of them.
I was too low. I was too low. I was
I know,
getting their laundry.
I know
I
you.
was getting their dry cleaning.
Okay.
I didn't.
But I had heard that maybe they were saying Regis was the wrong announcer for Joey. Well, all Regis did was, here's Joey. Anyway, I heard that, kept hearing it in the hallway, and finally one night said, I think I'm wrong for you. So I said to Joey, I'm going to leave. And I left.
But you came back 2 days later.
I came back a week later.
Did they beg you?
They requested
pay you
it.
more?
No, they didn't pay me any more, but they requested it.
So what did you say when you came back? I had a stomachache? The dog ate my homework?
No, Joey had talked about what had happened, and Joey summed it up very succinctly that night. He said, and I was expecting a little more than this, but he said simply, all's well that ends well.
And you're
What?
back.
And I'm back.
All right, so ABC then replaced Joey with Dick Cavett.
Yeah, and I started AM Los Angeles.
And it became a giant hit based
Enormous
on
hit.
those fabulous opening conversations that I'm trying to mimic right
Well,
now.
the host chat is the bellwether of the show.
But you created that. That's
Yes,
unique.
I created that because that's what I learned from Jack Parr.
And 7 years, you went to like #1?
Yeah, we were #1 in LA. That was before cable. We had enormous ratings, enormous numbers.
And then you came to New York and you were #1?
Then I came to New York in 1983.
18 years of, which I think I was one of the people that put it into syndication.
That's right.
Your
You
show.
did. When Disney bought ABC, we went syndicated with Disney.
Was Cindy Garvey your co-host when she was in the middle of the scandals or whatever? She was having an affair with somebody or whatever. What was that? Or do I have the wrong co-host? I can't remember. Something happened with her. Her husband was a first baseman for the Dodgers.
Los Angeles Dodgers. Well,
Something was going
they
on.
separated. They broke up, and she came to New York, and she was here when I came back. So Bill.
So you had something to talk about in your
Right, so
conversations.
ABC thought it would be good if we were paired again. We had done the show together in Los Angeles.
Is that the key to be paired with somebody who has
Well,
marital trouble?
No, not at all. No,
You have a history of that,
But that's
not
pretty,
your marital
That's
trouble.
pretty hard, Michael.
Good
You know,
though,
when
isn't it?
someone. No, Michael.
It's not good for the show?
No, it may
Wait
be
a
good for
second.
the ratings, but it's difficult on you because you're feeling some empathy for that person.
Now let me ask you a question. Kathy Lee had all her children while she was on the show.
Yeah.
And then did you know Kelly Ripa was pregnant when you gave her that slot?
You know what?
Is this the key to be pregnant to come on your show?
Well, it kind of sounds that way, doesn't it? Because we're trying her out on the show, and we liked her a lot, and we brought her over to a psychic named Shar, whom I had used
That's
on
not
the
the way you
coast.
get pregnant.
No, but the psychic said to her, "You're pregnant," and she blushed and said, "You're right," and we didn't know about it. But anyway, it worked out fine. So she had her second baby and her third baby while she was co-hosting the show.
I have to admit, when I was talking to Bob Iger and you were looking for a new co-host, we did discuss it would be good if you had a co-host who was young enough to have babies because your audience is interested in all that.
Absolutely. And it's exactly what we've done. And of course, it's paid off. You're not thinking about a co-host.
No.
You don't have room enough at this
This
table.
table is not big enough. All right, so when you do a show like this, do you go home and like read the books and prepare and get yourself all ready so you know everything about the
Here's what
person,
I
or do you
Michael,
just do
because
it?
to me, what's very important is that opening segment. And so whatever I go through, I had dinner last night with you, talked about it today on the show. I did a show with you today, you're probably on tomorrow's show. Whatever I experience during the day, I kind of package it in my head. And the next day, I never talked to Kelly before the show. There are no writers on the show. I use that material to tell the audience and her what I did last night, what happened to me during the day. And so that's what I use. Now, at the end of the day, they send me a little packet with the names of the guests and what they're up to, what their movie is about, and all of that. And I take a quick look at that. But that's how I prepare.
So when you did The Millionaire,
Yeah.
you didn't have that. You just had this event kind of
That
program.
was a big change
Was
for
that
me,
fun
The
to do
Millionaire,
that?
because everything was scripted on that show, you know.
Was that fun? Because that was a giant.
It was a giant hit.
You know, right in the middle of The Millionaire.
Yeah.
The cable company in New York, Time Warner,
Yeah.
took the ABC feed off the air
I well
in
remember
New York.
that, yeah.
And
The
it was
outcry was great, wasn't
the greatest thing ever to happen to ABC.
Right.
Because
So-
it was very badly timed by Time Warner, because it was the third episode of the first time Millionaire was on the air.
Exactly.
And we literally had a nunnery of nuns in front of the mayor's office with placards.
No kidding.
Because the third show was canceled, and it was
And so you won that one, didn't you?
Because of you.
Well,
by the way, I won a lot because of you.
Really? What else did you win?
Well, The Morning Show is a giant hit for ABC. It's just gigantic. And The Millionaire turned ABC around.
But let me ask you something.
And you're now teaching me how to do this. How much more could I win?
Why did ABC put on 4 episodes of The Millionaire and then expect it to survive in prime time?
I'd like to say, I don't know, but I was the person that made that mistake.
Was it because the show was so big or because we had nothing else at the time?
No. The reason was that honestly, I'm now thinking of the conversation I had with Bob Iger. I had worked as a page on Jeopardy and on The Price is Right and all those shows, and they were still on the air. This is 40 years later.
Absolutely.
So I thought 5 days a week would work. And I didn't realize that something as hot as The Millionaire tired quicker than a show that was cooler like Jeopardy. So we sat around, and it wasn't out of greed, and it wasn't out of we needed extra programming. It was, this is the way these programs work. That people like the everyday demand to tune in.
Exactly.
And in effect, we killed it. We killed the Golden Goose.
But shouldn't have stayed on one night a week after that? Isn't there a place for The Millionaire?
Can't we be stupid?
On television?
Can't we be stupid? I mean, we do make mistakes. There were a bunch of people sitting in a room saying, hey, let's do this. And it wasn't about making more money, which people say. It wasn't about greed. It was that we thought a strip, which is every night across the same time period, would be successful. And the audience tired of it. And I had been trying to put on a big money game show since the $64
Oh, I know that.
question.
I know that. We talked about that years ago. You see, I've known Michael now, well, for almost 40 years. All through your career, ABC, then Paramount Pictures, and then Disney. I mean, you've been very, very successful. You made a lot of great decisions.
Well, but I had a lot of people that I work with that made most of those decisions.
But now, why do you want to be a talk show?
I don't know.
But you're enjoying it.
As I'm sitting here telling you, I'm thinking maybe this is idiotic.
But you were fascinated by it.
I did a Charlie Rose, and Charlie said he was going on vacation, wanted to do one hosting. And I interviewed Barry Diller, and I interviewed John Travolta.
And you were pretty good.
Well, they were great. Forget how I was. Because I knew Barry so well, Barry Diller, and because I knew John Travolta so well, having been part of the casting of Cotter and Saturday Night Fever and Grease and Urban Cowboy and many others, I was able to ask them questions that a journalist wouldn't know as much as I know.
Exactly.
And I even talked about Scientology with him, and he was fabulous. And Diller was off the charts, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So I thought this would be fun to do.
And?
Well, it is fun.
Well, sure
it is fun.
You're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it.
It's nice that you finally got a chance to find your niche in this business.
No, you see, everybody thinks they can do the show.
There are all kinds of people who can do it.
No, you and Oprah.
Tony Danza, Ellen, The View Girls, everybody.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who can't do it. And sometimes it's more complex than people think. You know, you've got to make the guests look good, first of all. That is a prerequisite. Otherwise, you're not going to get anybody on the show. But, you know, just let me take you back to the days here when I was a page. I did the summer show with Eddie Fisher, one of the giants. It was in the 50s, and Fisher had that magnificent
Oh, my mama,
voice.
or what is it?
Exactly. Oh, my papa.
Oh, my papa.
Close.
All right.
So,
see, I'm not tuned up for this.
I'm there watching Eddie Fisher, and they decide that in the last show of the summer season, Eddie would sing his big hit of that time, and would go up the stairs to the elevator, which was on the next floor. And I would stand at the top of the stair holding that elevator so that he would get in the elevator and leave on his vacation. I was so excited that I was going to be seen on television that I called my mother up in the Bronx. I said, Mom, I'm going to be seen on TV. You must watch the Eddie Fisher show. She said, okay, I would. She was never too keen on me being in this business, but I thought she'd be thrilled about this, seeing her son on TV. So it happened just the way the producers thought it would be. Fisher sang his big song, walked up the aisle. The kids came out of the aisle. They mobbed him. They rushed him. He fought his way through, got to the top of the stairs. I'm holding the elevator. Eddie got in and was gone, and I was seen on TV because the camera picked me up. I ran down the hallway to the phone, called my mother in the Bronx, said, Mom, did you see me on TV? She said, yeah. But where was Eddie going on vacation? How do you like
Well, that taught you about what's important in life.
To her, that's right. I learned that not everybody is fascinated by being on TV.
Well, mothers are unique thing. My mother, the only time I ever let my mother be interviewed about her son's modest success, the interviewer said, well, how do you feel about that? And she said, it was amazing to me. I always thought he was just average. And I read this, and I called her up, and she said, well, I didn't mean it that way, but I didn't know you would be that successful. So I kept the press away.
So mothers are tough to please, I guess.
So what is your number one advice to a struggling...
Well, I have seen you. I've been your friend for a long time, and I've seen you in both professional and personal situations. And now, if we were negotiating my contract, you would be a killer. You're a shark. That's what you're trained to be, and you are. Well, look. But when I have dinner with you, or we're having coffee, or we're trapped on a plane together, you tell the most charming, personal, funny stories of anybody I know in the business. That's what I want Michael Eisner to do with his guests.
Not the shark side.
No, the shark side, unless you have to pull that shark side, which you always keep in reserve. So that's what you've got to remember to do, Michael. Don't make it so impersonal. Make it personal. Make them feel like, you want them to succeed. And don't spend much time with them before the interview begins, Write down, get started, do it. Let it all happen in the interview. And don't have dinner with anybody the night before like we did last night. It kills the interview. We're dying here.
We're not dying. And
no,
and thank you for coming.
All right,
really,
Michael.
Regis.
Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
America's newest talk show. Make me proud.
Right.
Thanks.
I will.
Good luck.
Thank you.
When Conversations continues, after a long and varied career, how does Bette Midler think she'll be remembered?
I was singing in a gay bathhouse that, I always say that when I die, it's going to say on my tombstone, began career at Continental Baths. That's the start of my obituary.
That's next, when Conversations with Michael Eisner returns.
This is how the world's top businesses sleep well at night, knowing their networks are safe and secure. Business made simple. Nortel. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to land. Within the miles. Please return to your seat and make sure your carry-on bags are closed. That lie between us. Away with the sea. Air France.
This is Paul. He backtests moving averages differently than Raj, who drags and drops nothing like Anne, who trades options a lot more often than Hal, who places conditional orders differently than George, who celebrates in his own special way. And thanks to Fidelity Active Trader Services, they all get power, price, service, no compromises. Let's go! Trading with Fidelity. Smart move.
You see a long business trip. At Franklin Templeton, we saw regional air travel rising and invested in a commuter jet manufacturer ready to take off. A smart move for our fund shareholders. Perspective like this has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. Ask your advisor for a prospectus with investment goals, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
She works hard for the money, so hard for it, honey. She works hard for the money, so you better treat her right. All right.
Our money market account will work hard for your money. And our 12-month CD, so hard for it, honey. Just log on to gmacbank.com or call 866-2GM-BANK today. We'll really treat you right.
Today on Susie Orman, financial infidelity.
Translation, lies, lies, lies.
What happens when money and relationships collide?
Most of us really are financial liars.
A memorable Susie Orman special, Financial Infidelity. Today, 8 a.m. Eastern on CNBC.
With a kitchen like this, you could prepare fabulous meals, throw festive dinner parties, candlelit dinners for two. At Servewell Custom Kitchen Appliances, you'll find world-class Sub-Zero Wolf ovens, ranges, cooktops, refrigerators, and dishwashers. Servewell proudly features the entire line of Sub-Zero Wolf kitchen appliances. Sub-Zero Wolf, fabulous performance for the home. Visit our designer showroom in Glendale at 1021 Airway. Let Servewell give you the Sub-Zero Wolf custom kitchen you've always dreamed of. Servewell Custom Kitchen Appliances.
Get the specialty truck you need now at Hauser Truck Sales, your California truck source. With as many as 100 trucks on the lot, we'll make sure you have just the right truck for whatever job you need. We can even build the truck you need. Hauser Trucks specializes in cabs, dump trucks, bucket trucks, utility vehicles, and more. These are just a few of the trucks now available when you come to Hauser Truck Sales in North Hills. Call us at 800-4HAUSER. Don't wait. These trucks go fast. Call now at 800-4HAUSER.
Conversations continues now with Michael Eisner and Bette Midler.
So, Bette, I am thrilled that you're here on my show, mainly because you saved my career once, and I'm looking forward to again. Actually, and then we'll start talking about it. When I went to Disney in '84, the first person to call me was an agent saying, "You've been trying to be in business with Bette Midler for 20 years. How would you like to do Down and Out in Beverly Hills?" I came to Disney. It was the first movie that Disney made under Touchstone in the new era. First R-rated movie that Disney had ever made, with an actress who had been involved in many projects, some of which were controversial. And that and 5 movies later kind of turned the momentum of a dormant Disney around. So I wanted to talk about that and all the rest of it. But going to Disney for you, after having done, you know, Clams in the Half Shell and working in New York, and was that a strange move?
I was terrified, and I couldn't understand what they would see, why they wanted me. I'm thinking, because I had grown up with, you know, Bambi and Cinderella, and I was terrified. I was so.
You are Cinderella.
Well, thank you very much. I was stunned that they would want me, and I couldn't figure out what was going on over at the studio. That they would suddenly make this big turn from family. You,
please.
Excuse me. Well, they meaning them.
I read a script, and actually, it was the first Desperate Housewife we'd ever read, and you playing a Beverly Hills quasi-Desperate Housewife with Nick Nolte, directed by Paul Mazursky. Sounded fantastic.
Well, it came at just the right time for me because I had had big success with The Rose, and I never got another job. I never got another phone call. The studio eventually called me back and said, well, we'll make a, we'll do, this was during the time of Jinxed. My second picture, I lost my manager, excuse me, I excused my manager. I left my manager as a famous Aaron Russo, who was a real, I have to say, a real light in my life. He was a very exciting person to be in business with.
He recently ran for governor of Nevada.
Yes, he's a fearless kind of guy.
Got a documentary about to come out about how you don't have to pay your taxes.
That sounds right.
I've seen it.
I was in a lot of very exciting police chases with him.
Do you know
those were great days.
You know, he said he was going to kill me?
I heard rumblings of that. What's
to go
that
back
story?
about 30 years or 20 years, when I was in New York at ABC, a man comes into my office and says, there's a woman singing in the bathhouses in New York who ABC has to make a deal with. He said, well, you have a meeting. I said, great. What I didn't know was the manager of this up-and-coming actress, Bette Midler, and I shouldn't be talking here, but now you're interviewing me, but whatever. So I had an apartment for rent in a building I owned. And Aaron Russo came and saw it, and I rented it to him. And that night, I lay in bed with my wife, because I asked him as he left what he did for a living, and he said he managed rock groups. And my wife and I discussed it, and we decided it was a mistake. And I called him the next day, and I said to him, Mr. Russo, I've decided against it. I can't do it. He said, please, I beg you, let me come back again. He had this beautiful little blonde wife who was so sweet, and they came back, and they loved the wood-burning fireplace, and I rented it to him again. That night, I went back to bed with my wife. We discussed that he read that he had rock groups. We said it was a mistake. I called him the next day and said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And he said, obviously kidding, I'm going to kill you. So now it's 2 years later. We have a meeting about Bette Midler, this actress in the Baz. And halfway through the meeting, he points to me and he says, you're the one. And I said, yes, I am. And he got up and walked away, and everybody else in the room said, what was that all about? And then I could never make a deal with you.
I never worked for you. Never.
No, I couldn't get the roads?
No.
Tell me about the bathhouses.
Let me explain to you. I was a starving actress. I wasn't exactly starving. I had a job in Fiddler on the Roof. I started actually off Broadway with Tom Ian. I was his house person. He came to me with all his scripts. I was his leading lady for a couple of years. And because I had been with Tom Ian all those years, I was very used to, I was very used to gay people. I thought I loved them. I had no problem with them. So I was in Fiddler, and I could not get another job. I would go on all these auditions. Could not get another job. Too short, too fat, too tall, too small, too white, too blonde, too whatever it was. I was always wrong. And so when this gentleman called me. He had been my teacher at the Berghoff studio. And he said, there's a man who called me. He's looking for an act. I said, well, I have a little bit of an act. I have like 20 minutes. He said, well, it's in a gay bathhouse. Do you have any problem with that? I said, I had no idea what a gay bathhouse is. Oh, no, I have no problem. After he told me what it paid, which was $300, I mean, I was like,
what?
$300 for the weekend. I was so excited. I mean, it's $300. That was a lot of money in those days, because I was working for Fiddler for $225 a week, 8 shows. So this was $300 for 2 shows. I mean, I thought I'd struck it rich. I didn't even think about gay bathhouses. I said, let me at him. So I went with my best friend, who was a hairdresser, who was a gay guy, who was Mr. Gerard, and he was a fabulously, famously funny man. And when I told him that I was going to do this, he said, let me write you some lines. So I said, write me some lines. And when we opened, I had some lines to talk about the bathhouse. They were so stunned that I knew what was going on. They were so thrilled that anybody knew their culture that I suddenly was like their pet. And I didn't work there that long, but I made such an impression on the world at large because I was singing in a gay bathhouse that, I mean, I always say that when I die, it's going to say on my tombstone, began career at Continental Baths. That's the start of my obituary.
Johnny Carson found you there.
He did.
David Frost?
Yes. Oh, yes. I started doing all those shows. I did Merv Griffin, Steve Allen, David Frost, Mike Douglas. You had to go to Philly. Never been to Philly. I mean, I was on my way, and I was terribly, terribly excited. And really, they were the ones who sent me on my way.
But you moved from Hawaii.
Yeah.
To New York.
At 19.
By yourself?
By myself, basically by myself. I landed in San Francisco with a good friend of mine, and we started a road trip. And by the time we got to New Orleans, I'd had enough. And so I took a plane from New Orleans to New York, and my relatives from New Jersey met me. I stayed a week with them, and then I moved into the Broadway Central, which collapsed a year or 2 later.
The thing fell down?
It just fell down, as buildings in New York often do. And not with me in it, but I had by that time, I had made some contacts. I had a little job at Stearns selling gloves. And I was basically, and I was only 19, and my daughter's 19 now, and she says, I cannot believe, she's in college, I cannot believe that you came by yourself to New York City in 1965 and with nobody, and you began a career. And I say, I guess times were different. Things were very different.
I moved too. I went from 89th Street to 65th Street in Manhattan.
With a passport?
I thought that was the biggest move of my life. I mean, for the first time, I was doing my own laundry. You moved from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Were your parents upset about this?
No, my parents, I think, were
glad to get rid of you.
My dad cried when I got on the plane. He cried, and I realized then that it was a generation. That was a generation that didn't really. They weren't overly emotional. They were very stoic, and they never showed their feelings. So when he cried, I realized, gee, I really meant something to the guy. Because up until then, I wasn't so sure.
But wasn't Hawaii in the 60s really feel isolated? Today it's because of satellite television and all that. It's not as isolated.
It's not as isolated. I gather that it was. The films didn't come for a year or 2 later.
So did you learn the hula before?
I did. I studied the hula. My mother insisted that all the girls study the hula. So we went down to even though my sister wanted to study ballet, my mother said, you're going to hula. So we went to hula. We went once a week for years. And I still have all my records, and I can still do it, although I don't remember the stories as clearly as I ought.
Did that help you play the eldest daughter in Fiddler?
Not even a little. Not even this
Jewish?
much. But
Mid-European dance is not similar?
No. And in fact, when I see sometimes the tapes from that show, I think, I can't believe I got that job. Oh, my word. But I guess they saw something in me that I really wanted to be in that show. I thought it was one of the most beautiful shows I'd ever seen. In fact, it was the most beautiful show I'd ever seen.
And when the person came to my office and talked about you and the Bears and then said you were the eldest daughter and fiddler, I did go. And it only made me more interested. If I'd only given Aaron that apartment, who knows what could have happened.
What could have happened to me? I would have had a career.
As Conversations continues, more from Bette Midler.
Were you a piece of work? Were you difficult?
I don't know if I was difficult. I was probably difficult because I was very ambitious and I didn't have any other interests, which is not good, not really healthy.
Conversations continues in a moment.
He volunteered.
We were drafted.
She enlisted. And off we went to Asia, to Europe.
The Gulf. To do our duty.
Serve our country. We were buddies.
Shipmates. Best of friends.
I'll never forget his courage.
Her dedication.
The way he made you laugh. And I'll remember him.
Remember her?
I'll remember them. Always.
There's a place where you can get to know some of the most famous names in the investing business, where you can meet the elite, including some of the best and the brightest. At E-Trade Financial, be starstruck.
24/7 access, simple process, and great home equity rates. That's why people who use eLoan are getting the message around. Those are just some of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan, radically simple.
You don't just step out on the South African grasslands one afternoon and decide. This is where a telecom provider will expand their mobile network. You've got to accurately read global trends to know how to make them work for your customers. That's what Emerson does. We anticipate our customers' technology needs so that when they're ready,
hi, we've been waiting.
We're ready. Are you? Emerson, consider it solved.
Stock and option exchanges are competing for your next order. Is your broker taking maximum advantage? Interactive Broker's smart order routing system reacts instantly to changing prices within a complex web of exchange rules. Smart routing plus ultra-low commissions will make a dramatic impact on your trading results. The Interactive Broker's smart router. After 6 years of evolution, intelligent design that even Darwin could appreciate. Interactive Brokers. Options, stocks, futures, ETFs, Forex, bonds, worldwide.
Dell Media Center PCs let you enjoy and share your digital photos. Download pictures from your digital camera, view or play them as a slideshow, print and share with family and friends, all at the touch of a button. Create and enjoy your memories with the Dimension E310 with Windows XP Media Center Edition, a free 15-inch flat panel upgrade, and free shipping and handling for just $4.99. It's more than a picture-perfect PC. It's a Dell.
Take it easy. Kramer's your man of leisure when it comes to turning rest and relaxation into mad money. Tonight, 6, 9, and midnight Eastern on CNBC.
Car trouble? You should call Jason's Honda in Accra. He's been serving the foothill communities for over 12 years. With honesty and integrity, all his mechanics are factory trained. And they use only genuine Honda and Accra parts. And there's free pickup and delivery. And what else? He's my dad.
Jason's Honda Acura, your dealership alternative.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 people need a new mattress? Hi, I'm Neil from the Leeds Mattress Stores, and I want to take out the confusion of buying your next new mattress. You've seen Sealy including Posturepedics advertised elsewhere at $5.99. I'll show you the same mattress in my store for only $3.99. Leeds will make your financing easy, and all of our mattress sets include frame and delivery. So come see me or call Neil with the deal at the Leeds Mattress Stores. I won't be beat. Call 1-800-GO-LEEDS for a store near you.
As Conversations continues, more with Michael Eisner and Bette Midler.
Were you a piece of work? Were you difficult?
I don't know if I was difficult. I was probably difficult because I was very ambitious and I didn't have any other interests, which is not good, not really
you
healthy.
weren't difficult at Disney at all.
No, I was, by that time I had been so beaten up that I was like, I was a desperate housewife. I was playing a part for real. After Jinx, which really, I was so beaten up during Jinx, and everybody on that set hated me, and I couldn't figure out why.
This was after the Rose.
This was after
But you
the
were like
Rose.
an Academy Award nominated.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, how outrageous.
I was so stunned that that's how it worked.
Right. Well, it doesn't. Everybody's not that way. You've since learned.
Other female stars have told me that this is the way it works. You have to have a certain level of appeal to the powers that be, you know. And everyone is not
your power that.
And I appealed to you, and so thank God. So when you called me, I was probably sobbing my heart out because I had been put through the ringer in the press over Jinxed, and I thought, well, this is the end. I'm never going to work again. And then this great phone call came, and Paul Mazursky was so kind, and it was like the $500 special. It was me, and it was Nick Nolte, and it was Richard Dreyfuss, and it was as if everyone was out of rehab, out of some kind of terrible disgrace. And you were giving everyone, like, you know, $1.25 to work, you know, to get their lives back together. And basically, really, everybody did. Everyone really went on from that picture to make, you know, to have big careers and to sort of organize themselves.
I never failed with any of those three people before that or after that. Nick Nolte had done Rich Man, Poor Man,
yes,
all that stuff.
Yes,
Richard
he's a
Dreyfuss.
sensational actor, another sensational actor. And everyone was on their best behavior. Well, not exactly.
Now, during this period, you weren't performing like you did on Clams and a Half show.
I stopped doing live shows. Once I started in pictures with you guys, I basically stopped doing live shows.
There was a piece of Clams where you come out with King Kong.
Yes.
And I called up after I saw it.
You did not. You did? I knew it.
I called up Barry Diller at Paramount. I was at ABC.
And said, get King Kong.
And then he didn't answer me. He never said anything, which is not unusual. And then I called Sid Sheinberg at Universal and said, how about King Kong? And they both started making it and ended up suing each other and finally becoming partners. All out of seeing you coming out of Fay Wray.
Fay Wray.
Being there like Fay Wray. So you spanned a whole kind of era from the 60s and the kind of Vietnam, late 60s, early 70s, the drug culture, the coming out of that into the kind of the 80s, the Disney culture, as you will, the mother culture, the turning your back on the drug culture, then the philanthropic culture. I mean, you have actually, a movie about you, no, but a movie about you has everything you want. It has the arc, it has the revelation of character, it has the experience, the love interest, the old boyfriend who goes nuts. I mean, it has everything. But you
please don't make a movie of my life. Please swear to me. Swear to me.
Well, see, we made Stella.
Oh, Stella, that was the turning point. See, that's when I wound up in the, excuse my French, that's when I wound up not doing, that was the turning point. That's when I realized it was not going to go well. Because I made Beaches, which was an enormous success, and it was an enormous success for women. Women loved that movie. It was a woman's picture, and I remember so clearly.
By the way, I should have listened to you, because you came to me and said, call it Wings, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Did I say that?
Yes. Why are you calling it Beaches?
Well, it had
I made this whole case why it should be called Beaches.
I remember that.
You were right. You were right. But I want to go back to this, how you were able, which a lot of people aren't, is to put the past kind of behind you, as we say in Lion King.
Very well. You know, I had a partner who was a sensational person. Her name was Bonnie Bruckheimer, and I loved her. We parted company, but one of the things that I took with me when we left was her motto, which was, we hold a grudge. So it's not like, the face of it is that I've forgotten, but truly, there are some psychic insults that are so severe that you really don't forget. You know, you kind of like don't tell everybody, but you're still like, And I'm afraid I'm one of those people. I am. I do remember. And that's a problem. I think that comes from my family. The best of times, when I really stop and think about it, the grudges are always with you. But the best of times, they have a tendency to dissipate. And you really do have to pull them back in order to go on.
The one thing that you probably don't hear and you should recognize is that there is, in show business, there is business. Otherwise, as Woody Allen said, it would be show. And the effect that you had on the bottom line of Disney, the effect that you had on turning around the perception of a company, of creating a non-Disney brand, was enormous. And what most people don't understand is these companies, even big Disney, only are as good as the content. Just like an automobile company is only as good as the new car, which seems to be a problem today. And I would say your vitality and your spirit, and I think you know this, but I'm not sure you know the impact it had on the bottom line. Or you probably heard it, but it's there. And
thank you very much.
I mean, we don't talk about that much.
But you enriched my bottom line too, don't forget.
Well, no, we all did fine.
Yeah, we
but
did.
There are
We
a
did
lot.
great.
There are 120,000 employees at Disney and millions of shareholders. And you're just doing a movie. And you think you're just doing a movie, then you're doing another movie. You're doing an album, and this is very American.
Yes.
It's not done anywhere else in the world, and I think people do appreciate that. Anyway.
Well, thank you very much.
I loved having you here.
Oh, that's
I could
kind
go on
of
for
you, so
100
kind.
hours.
I could too.
Thank you, Bette.
Thank you, and thanks for everything.
When Conversations returns on May 25th, meet the new boss at Disney. Bob Iger, Michael's protege and successor, talks about the challenges he's facing as the new CEO at Disney. And on an upcoming Conversations, he's outspoken and controversial. Religious broadcaster Pat Robertson talks about business, faith, and politics. That's coming up on Conversations with Michael Eisner.
Conversations with Michael Eisner is brought to you by the Royal Bank of Scotland Group. Make it happen.